parade of the 75th anniversary show. And we'd like to see our antique autos come down through here first. Okay. And then our steam engines next, the prairie tractors next, and then all the rest of the tractors, and then finally the garden tractor. Okay. We have a little bit of an unusual car coming down the track here. This is a Stanley steamer. They had the high pressure boiler that was quickly fired up, and they ran very quiet. And this was, what year is it? 1906 Stanley steamer. It belongs here to Rough and Tumble. Thanks for bringing it out. That's quite a treat. Next up here, we have a Ford Model T. It's an A and a T combined. Okay. Built between 1923 and 1929. David McMeth, Sailorsburg, Pennsylvania. Thanks for bringing it out. All right, next we have a Ford Model A Roadster pickup, built in 1929. Mark and Paula Bullock of Farmingdale, New Jersey. Beautiful car. Thanks for bringing it out.
Okay. Steamer's next.
Okay, next portion of the parade will be our feature, steam engine. And I'll hand this over to Mr. Nate Stokes to tell you all about it.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, we have one little runabout coming.
Oh, we gotta...
Come on. Come on, little car. Let's get going. Oh, shoot. He'll wait on you. I believe we got our salvage there. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh is right.
Okay, here we have this little horseless carriage that was built by Mr. Rich McKee and his students in 2011. And this is now operated here by John McKee from Seven Valleys, Pennsylvania. Thanks for bringing it down. And now I'll hand it over to Mr. Nate Stokes.
Okay, for the steam.
You actually got the proper name for it, Stokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Stokes. Yeah, they don't go real fast. They're steam engines. They don't go
Okay,
fast.
first up we have the Biesecker family Frick. It's a 1916 model. It's currently being used to teach Steam School 102. This is an 8.5 by 10 Frick being run by Ali Astle and Sari Ebersol under the supervision of Sparky Biesecker. We'd also like to mention that this engine is for sale. Come get yourself a Frick. All right, now we got a 6 3/4 by 9 double-cylinder Frick being operated by Wyatt Baker under the supervision of Alex Baker. This engine is owned by the Cumberland Valley Antique Engine and Machinery Association out of Chambersburg, PA. Yep.
Yeah, there's Jerry's little case. I remember that from 2016. I remember he had that one running in 2016.
Here we got a little engine with big dreams. This is a third scale 110 case, also known as a 30 horsepower case. owned and operated by Jerry Luckaball out of Glen Rock, PA.
This is the Gar Scott.
Here's another one of Jerry's engines, I believe. This is the Gar Scott. Gar Scott produced in Richmond, Indiana.
Grease, steam, and rust engine.
Okay, now we have grease, steam, and rust. Got grease, steam, and rust 8x10 brick being operated by Kai Wilhelm under the supervision of Dave Franz. Okay, here's a 1923 7x10 double cylinder brick. It is owned by Tim Bear and family out of Glen Rock, PA.
There's the steamroller.
There we have a 40 horse case roller coming down. This is a 10-ton model. Take note, there's no steering wheel on this engine. It is steam steering only. There's a bar up there that he shifts around to steer the engine. Here we have the William Burt case. It's a 65 horse case, 1916 model, out of Finnsburg, Maryland.
Did the one that almost had the signature. Almost exploded. Oh, there's our steamroller.
Alright, this one I don't know. Okay, this is another Jerry Luckaball machine, an 8.5x10 brick out of Glen Rock, PA. Here we have the Besecker family Russell, the 13 horse Russell, being operated by Chef Knob. He's on this just about as much as his own engine. It's a 1901 model, 13 horsepower Russell from the Beseckers out of Bear, Delaware. Here we have the Buffalo Springfield Fox Roller. It's a 1921 model owned by Rough and Tumble, and its caretaker and operator is Eric Knapp.
Shy, dude.
She's on that rod, Aiden.
Yeah.
All right, here we have the oldest engine operating on the ground today. This is an 1886 Scheidler. To my knowledge, it's the only Scheidler operating in the world. There are others around, but this is the only one I know that gets to go out and play. Its caretaker and operator is Bobby Erb. Bobby is what we consider to be a rookie caretaker. He's only been on this engine for a year, maybe two? 1 year? 2 years now? You're still a rookie, Bobby. We'll learn you, though. All right. Here we have a 20 horse Russell,
2060.
owned and operated by Jim Floor.
At least 1.1.
This engine will be on display Labor Day weekend at Williams Grove. That's its next show. It's a 2060 Russell, a 1920 model, owned and operated by the Floor family. Here we have the Supers family Frick. The one odd thing about the Supers family Frick is the Supers is very rarely found upon it. Today it is operated by a mother-son combo, Linz and Calvin Leader. This Frick is a 1915 model, 7.5 by 9. And the Supers are out of Sudlersville, Maryland. Here's one we haven't seen yet this show. This is a Jim Wright Frick. Is this the 8.5 by 10? This is the 8 by 10, okay? It's a 1913 model, owned and operated by Jim Wright.
Jerry's case.
Okay, here we have another Jerry Luckaball machine. This is another 65 horsepower case. All these engines convoyed up here from Glen Rock, PA.
Yeah. I even put a link to it. Jonathan Warnings. Recently restored John Goodison.
Coming down the track now, we have a Canadian engine. This is a Goodison, owned and operated by Jonathan Werning and the entire Werning family.
Entire Warning family on board.
Jonathan, you got one problem here.
That's why I took.
You're soon going to run out of platform to build seats on.
Taking a picture, but I did it with this thing. Come on. This week.
Jonathan just recently redid this engine with assistance from Vernon Martin with the painting, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Thank you for bringing it out, Jonathan. Here we have William Grove's Historical Society's 50 horse Peerless.
Yeah.
This is being operated by Roger Rose. She just got off the sawmill.
Yeah.
This is a model TT, I believe. Yep, model TT. And like I said, this engine will be on display at the Williams Grove Historical Society Labor Day weekend.
Next weekend.
It's a 10-day show, but that's when we like to go, is Labor Day weekend.
There's a big machine livery.
All right, coming down the track now is most unusual Avery. This is an undermount Avery, meaning that Avery put the engine underneath, so it was easy to work on, easy to pull. This is a Prairie tractor. It is rough and tumble, 18 horse Avery, operated and cared for by Kyle Henninger. Well, congratulations. How about a round of applause for the happy couple, please? Just engaged on the Kent family upright. Where's your boiler? Oh, you just wanted to put it away. You got trapped in the parade. This is a 1927 Lynn truck tractor. Built in Morris, New York. It is a rough and tumble piece. If you get stuck with a Lynn truck tractor, you're in big trouble. Here we have an Advanced Rumley coming down the track. This engine is owned by Alan Samuelson out of New Jersey. Alan's pretty generous with letting lots of people run his engine. Thank you for bringing it out. All right, here we have a 2575 Altman Taylor, affectionately known as the Ticket Chicken. It is owned and operated by Colton Garver with the assistance of Alexa Garver.
There you go, let me see.
Didn't I just see you? Here's the man himself, Jerry Luckerbaugh, operating his Advanced Rumley. What horsepower is this one? A 16 horse Advanced Rumley from Glen Rock, PA. I don't know if there's a steamer left in Glen Rock, PA. They're all in Kinzers, PA. All right. Last but not least, we have a quarter scale case. It's a quarter scale 65 horse. We're going to get him off to the side here because it's going to take him a minute with those little wheels to get down the track.
I do got the big 4 line.
All right, I'm going to hand you back to Landis now.
Thank you, Nate. That was a nice lineup of steam engines for our last day. I'm glad you all came out. I don't think we'll have be probably years before we can duplicate this again. While we have get the quarter scale case off to the side here and get him on the shoulder so everybody can see you. Next tractor coming down the track here is a big 430 built by the Gas Traction Company. This is owned by Bill McGrew of Kemar, Maryland, built 1910. Beautiful engine. This is probably a Prairie tractors at their finest there. Thank you, Bill. Next here we have a Gas Austin Road Roller, a single cylinder gas engine. This used to be owned by Clyde Burkholder, and now it is owned by it is now owned by Larry Burkholder, Mountville, Pennsylvania, built 1910. AD Mass, one of our founding members, owned this engine years ago. Next engine tractor coming down here. The truck is Fairbanks Morse. Very unusual engine. 25 horsepower, built in 1912, owned by the Self-Food family. I think you're going to have to go a long ways to find another Fairbanks tractor. Advanced Rumley. This is a scale model of a Rumley Model F, one cylinder. Built 1985, and 75% of a Model 1530. Also the Self-Food family. Nice out there. Oh, another Paul's the driver. Okay. All right. International Type B screen tool tractor here. Built 1912. Also owned by the Self-Food family. Smaller Rumley oil pull here, Model L, 1525 horsepower, built 1927, owned by Dale Martin of Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Still in its original finish there. Next up we have a larger Rumley Superpower coming through here. built 1928. This is owned by Kinzer's, Rough and Tumble here at Kinzer's. Caterpillar Model 10, owned by Ken Zimmerman, built in 1932. Just saw the scale model rumbling go through. Here's the real McCoy coming. 1530 Model F. Built in 1915. Owned by the Stoltzfus family. 15 horsepower on the drawbar, 30 on the belt. Lots of tractor. Got a Ford 8N. Owned by Brian Mann. Driven by his better half. Case 430 utility, built in 1969. Cameron Fry of Inwood, West Virginia. Thank you.
Close to you.
Yeah, that is close.
John Deere Model H. Built 1941. Andrew Rose of Newark, Delaware. Well, we're getting caught up. I saw it turn to Harvey Bayshore, past president here of Rough and Tumble. Passed away last week. He was also very instrumental in the driving, very much of a driving force in the Waterloo Boys Club. Our condolences to the Bayshore family. Another John Deere Model H here, built in 1939, owned by the Waterloo Boys Club. 1955, John Deere 60, Sandy and Jewel Weidel of Columbia, Pennsylvania. Got a 1958 Farmall 130 coming down the track here, also owned by Sandy and Joe Weidel of Columbia, Pennsylvania. The 130 there has a single point fast hitch plow in the back there. And next here we have a 1935 Alice Chalmers Model UC, owned by Joe Weidel of Columbia, Pennsylvania. This was a former Stauffer tractor. Okay. Mobile Junior. Another early prairie tractor owned by the Stoltzfus family as well. .25 horsepower Mobile Junior, also a tractor from the team. All right, John Deere 40, built in 1953, driven here by Harriet Clark of Westchester, Pennsylvania. And the next here is a 1941 John Deere H, driven by Harriet's other half, Dick Clark, Westchester, Pennsylvania. And then we have the John Deere 3010, built in 1962, owned by Steve and Barb Hill of Drumore, Pennsylvania. Next we have a little bit of an unusual tractor. This is a Silver King, built in 1943. Now these Silver Kings, they would do like 28 miles an hour wide open. And I asked Davey if he ever had it wound out. He said he doesn't think he did. Thanks for bringing it on, Davey. Ford Model 800. John Deere B. Unstyled John Deere B. One of the Baldwell boys there. Oliver Super 88, built 1957. This is owned and driven by our fearless leader, Walt Wilson, president of Rough and Tumble. Thank you, Walt. Next we have a 3060 Model S oil pull, owned by Keith Bluelingle. I believe this might have been a previous Bud Sandball tractor. Built 1927. Keith Kulingle, Almara, Pennsylvania, is the current owner. And here we have Keith coming on another oil pull here. A 4060 Model Z, built 1929. This was about as late as you could get with a oil pull here before they changed there. And we have another oil pull coming here. 2540 Model X, built 1928, also owned by Keith Kulingle, pulling the Rumbly Combine. Got the draper head there, pulling it out behind it. That will be put off to the side. I think it's a 10-foot head. They would cut a lot of grain back then. And as we saw the 3060 Model S Rumbly go down the track here. Now that was a 3060, and here is a 3060 Model E. That shows you what the advance was between this model and the later model. This is also rated 3060. This is their prairie tractors at the best. Model E built 1912, also owned by Keith Kulingle of Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Your Rumblies always put out a lot more than their rated horsepower. They had lots of reserve. They were heavy-duty tractors. They built a lot of them, and they plowed up a lot of prairie in the teens and the 20s there. Next here we have a Hart Car 1227, built in, I believe, 1913, owned and piloted by Paul Stoltzfus himself. Take a look at those unique wheels there, all casted in one piece. That's with oil-cooled single-cylinder upright engine. Rumbly oil pull, model 1630H, built 1919. Hey, this is here by my buddy Harlan Wood, Catskills, New York. Hey, thanks a lot, Harlan. Good to see you. Of course, we're happy to see everybody else too. But next is a Rumbly 2040 Model G, built 1923, owned by Cindy Garver, Paradise, Pennsylvania. Hey, this has got a birthday this year. More and more of our gas tractors are becoming 100 years old. 1930 Hart Car Oliver Model A, 2844 horsepower. This was owned by the family of Rodney Owens Jr. of Clinton, New Jersey. This tractor has been a long time fixture here in Rough and Tumble. Alrighty, beautifully restored Farmwell F12, built 1933, and driven here by Beverly Wise of Ridgely, Maryland. And here we have an International coming, International crawler tractor. Okay. Okay, 1955 International Model T6. That's a gas crawler. A lot of them were diesel. Thank you. Okay. Next up here we have a farm old Cub. Built 1948. Brad Wills of Mansfield, Mass. Thank you. John Deere Model H, built in 1947, Trevor Wilburn of New Providence, Pennsylvania. 1959 John Deere 630, owned by Tom Lesher of Macungie, Pennsylvania. Thank you. And here we got another Rumbly coming. We are fortunate to have such a nice lineup of Rumbly tractors here. This is also a Model F Rumbly 1530, built 1914, owned by Keith Kulingle, Palmyra, Pennsylvania, driven by Art Astle II. Another Rumbly coming here, 2040 Model G, built 1924, owned by the Astle family of Oxford, Pennsylvania. All righty, got the John Deere, is that a G? 1948 Model G, unstyled G. Driven by one of the Ballwell boys there. All right, next we have a John Deere M here, owned by the Werning family. Jonathan and his daughter are driving it there. Who's looking out for who? And we got the rest of them there on the people mover back there. Nice to see everybody involved. And Oliver 70 road crop, built 1947, owned by President Walt Wilson. This used to be his dad's tractor. His dad, Harry, owned by Walt and Wilson.
100-year-old John Deere.
All right, 1927, John Deere D, built, owned by David Goldhorn of Cockerville, Pennsylvania. Unstyled John Deere G, built 1940, Charlie Christman of Nottingham, Pennsylvania. Marmo H. Marmo H's were very, very popular. Seemed like they were everywhere. Good tractor, built 1953, owned by Ellis Barrett Sr. of Corolla, Maryland. Calora, Maryland. Alrighty, Marmo F14, built 1939, owned by Nate Stokes of Kempton. Do you feel at home in a tractor like that? Next we have the 3060 Ultimate Tickler, built 1918, owned by Keith Cooling of Palmer, Pennsylvania. It's driven by Colton Garver. And then we have a little case cross motor here coming. I believe it might be a 1018. All right, 1018 built 1923, owned by Larry Burkholder of Malcolm, Pennsylvania. This is got a birthday too. John Deere G. Sal G there, built 1952. All right, owned there by Jared Eldreth of Calora, Maryland. Another John Deere coming here, Model 70, built in 1955. Also owned by Ellis Barrett Sr., Calora, Maryland. John Deere B, built in 1939, also owned by Ellis Barrett Jr., Calora, Maryland. Deere 530, built in 1959, owned by Shelley Wilburn of Quarryville, Pennsylvania. John Deere 2510, built 1966, owned by Ronald Wilburn of New Providence, Pennsylvania. And here we have the corn borer Model D. They were shipped there to plow deep so they could destroy the corn borer. This one is built in 1927, owned by the Friends family. And then we have here a whole row of John Deere engines there. John Deere 820. And now you're getting at the upper end of the two-cylinder tractors here. There was a lot of horsepower to put in two cylinders. John Deere 820 diesel. The France family, built 1958. John Deere A Cyclone, owned by the France family, built 1951. Windsor, Pennsylvania. All right, next we have a special tractor coming down the track here. John Deere Model B here. This was the first 6-speed B. This was made by Aaron Stauffer. He was in the custom farming business and got tired of the slow gears of his John Deere B, so he took the tractor over to his brother Dan Stauffer there in Pleasant Valley Road, and they took some the Dodge car gears, and extended the shafts out through the side and made this shifting gearbox on the side there. They ended up with 6 speeds then, got them from job to job faster, and John Deere bought the idea from them for $100, and they continued production that way. Thank you for bringing that. Always a bit of history there. John Deere 51 single bottom plow, owned by Johnny Salfer, New Holland. And then here we have one of our newer construction bulldozer members here, Oliver Model OC3, built 1953, operated by Easton Cherney of Morgantown, Pennsylvania. That boy can really push dirt. Thank you, Easton. He said he's got a problem with his bulldozer. I said, I kind of wonder what he's up to now. And he said, everybody wants to buy it from me. I said, I guess it's a good problem to have if you want to sell it, but he doesn't want to sell it. Caterpillar D2. Okay, built 1955, owned by Alan Samuelson of Egg Harbor, New Jersey. Next we have a Oliver Claytrack Model HG68, owned by David Moon of Denver, Pennsylvania, pulling a Adams leaning wheel freighter. Pretty decent matched unit there. Next tractor here is another Farmo Cub, elevating tractor, built 1950, owned by the Merges family of Oxford, Pennsylvania. Next up we have a Massey Ferguson Model 35. This was a continuation of the gray Ferguson 35. This was built in 1963, owned by Steve Doors of Middleborough, Mass. And next we have an Oliver 550, owned by Dev Wilson. This tractor was built in 1960. This was a replacement for the Oliver Super 55, which was Oliver's answer to the utility market like the Fords and the Fergusons, but they had added features that Ford and Ferguson didn't have, like live PTO and live hydraulics and so forth. Next is Farmo Cub, built 1951, Edgar of Clear Springs, Maryland. And another Farmo Cub, this is also built in 1948, Colton Halteman of Coryville, Pennsylvania. Alrighty, Farmo 200, built 1955, Adam Haynes of Rising Sun, Maryland. Alice Chalmers C, built 1941, Jonathan Kaiser of Kinzers, Pennsylvania. Massey Harris. Massey Harris had that U-type boiler frame, and this was a Massey Harris pacemaker, built 1936, Brendan and Rick Freeman of Auburn, Pennsylvania. Oliver Row Crop 88. Built in 1949, owned by Ken Zimmerman of New Holland. Farmo H, built in 1951, owned by the Cap family of Walnut Bottom, Pennsylvania. Hey, how you doing, Dave? Okay, well, at least you brought this. Good to see you. Next up, we have a Euclid quarry dump truck there. Owned by Damon Mullen of Denver, Pennsylvania. And this has that Detroit engine in there, as you can hear. Model FD, built 1949. See you next week, Dave. Dave likes to hear those Detroits roar. All right, here we have another Farmo tractor, a Model A coming down the track here. Built 1945, Anthony and Carrie Saboda of Rehoboth, Mass. Farmo 300 utility, built 1955, Anthony and Corey Saboda of Rehoboth, Mass. Thanks for coming. Minneapolis Moline Model G1355, This was after the Oliver White motor merger. Your front half is a Moline engine. Your rear half is an Oliver. They, at that point in time, they were trying to keep everybody happy. So they were parsing and piecing things together as they felt the market warranted. We just had a heavy mini-epic Moline engine with the Oliver rear. Made a pretty decent tractor there. All right, Caterpillar D2, built in 1952, owned by Bill Glenn, our newsletter editor. And here we have Roger. Every issue we look for Roger. It just would be right to not have Roger with us. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah,
Ford diesel, model 961, built 1958. Justin Horning of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. I believe he might have been pulling with that. And then here next we have a wheel horse tractor, pink one here. And this is a model C111, built 1979. Katie Kent of Middletown, Rhode Island. And here we have a Simplicity 2110, owned by, Joshua King. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,